Here to talk today about the new releases from the Twelftree range. As you'll see, there's only 3, and that was because in 2011 it was a difficult vintage, and a number of the vineyards that I sourced from just simply I didn't pick, and so I kept it to 3 wines. The first one I have is Grenache Mataro. The Grenache component is from Gomasol here in the Barossa, and the Mataro component is from Ebenezer here in the Barossa. 11 being a cooler vintage. At one point I didn't think I was going to bring in any Grenache or Mataro, but after we had the cooler season, we had a very late summer, and it got warm, it got sunny, and the Grenache and Mataro got ripe. So as always, put the Grenache in some large puncheon and the Mataro, kept the 2 components separate until after they'd gone through malo, put them together, then kept them all in a big stainless steel tank prior to bottling after 11 months. So to me, the aim for this wine is drinkability is the word that I'd use. What I want here is I want all red fruits on the nose. I want very, very savoury tannins. This is a wine that I always kind of open with friends at home, around the table, and I just enjoy its drinkability. So anyway, nice, red flints in the glass. Yeah, lovely iodine-y notes, some Hirsch cherry, tobacco, and then really in the palate, lovely mid-weight fruit, not the most, it's not unctuous or thick or viscous, but then lovely purity of tannins, and I love that palate being cleaned up. I really look for the Mataro component here to really add the fruit weight of tannin. So really with all of these wines, my focus on all of them is to actually get the tannin structure right, and I'd prefer to use fruit tannin over oak tannin. So that's a wine that I think's best really now. Ageability on that I don't think's that long. I think it's a wine that is best drunk fond release, maybe 5 years. I shared a bottle of this last night with a wine reviewer from Russia and at a restaurant in Adelaide, and it didn't last very long. I didn't make a lot of it, but from the same Grenache component at Gomasol, I bottled up a small amount of 100% Grenache. This was aged in about 1/3 punch and 2/3 stainless, bottled after 11 months, and immediately it's richer, deeper in colour. Yeah, it's a bigger, richer, rounder. There's more cut flower, more earthier tones here, more spice. And then on the palate, more density, more weight, a little bit more sweetness kicks through. And then that lovely dry tannin comes in, but it's a sweeter tannins than in the Mataro here. I think to make that from a vintage of 11, I'm really proud of it. I think as difficult as it was, I think that's a hell of a Grenache from a cooler vintage. The last wine is a bit of a beast, and I've got to apologise for it. This is McLaren Vale White Hut, which is a sub-appellation within McLaren Vale. I was very lucky in that this was just a great grower in a difficult vintage who had done all the right things, shoot thinned, berry size was small. I just let it sit and hang, and McLaren Vale didn't get towed down with the weather as much as the Barossa did. But yeah, this has always been a wine that I've had to tame. I left it in oak for a lot longer than I normally would. I used all puncheon on this. Half of it was new, half of it was 1-year-old French oak puncheon, but as you can see from the colour, just great richness and density. Wonderful aromatic profile here. Really dark fruits, plum, kind of candied fruit, chocolate mocha. This wine was a frustration because it was so concentrated in barrel. I had to keep persevering, thinking a big belief of what I saw in the vineyard on the day that I picked it would come through in the finished wine. I see that now, but the process that we went to get to there at stages, I was very nervous that this wine was actually ever going to get any manners because it was so intense. It's already received some great acclaim from a number of the top press here in Australia. I think considering the vintage, it's quite amazing that I was able to make a wine with that purity, that richness, that weight. That's going to be a wine that I think will last for an incredibly long time. And once again, it's atypical. It's different to the other wines that we've made from 2 hands due to the larger format with maturation using puncheon as opposed to hogshead, so a 300 litre barrel. We normally use here at 2 hands for Twelftree, we use 500 litre barrels. made differently, wild ferment, a little bit drained off, a little bit of whole bunch in there, just a different punch down as opposed to pump over, a longer time on skins, just trying something completely different. And that's really what this whole range is about, is that I love my wines at Two Hands, but I also think that, you know, we need to keep evolving. I don't want to change the style of my Two Hands wines, so these project wines really give me an opportunity, A, to get really involved with certain vineyard sites, and to try things that are completely different, which I think is the fun of winemaking. So anyway, 11, there they are. Hope you buy them, hope you enjoy them.